Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Hard Truth. I want to give a special thanks and throw some love to each of my subscribers for all your time and donations. Thank you so much for helping the channel to grow. Okay, today's Hard Truth is never think that war is a crime. And that quote is by Ernest Hemingway. This is an introduction to my new series covering the Russia-Ukraine war. These nations have been fighting since February of 2022. I personally wasn't expecting the war to be so drawn out with so many emerging barriers to peace, but it has. And I want to discuss why. So it's time to settle in with your favorite coffee or a cup of tea as we begin our story. The primary reason why Russia and Ukraine are still at war is because both sides still have people who are willing to fight. I know a lot has been published about many people being forced to fight, and according to my research, I find that to be true to some extent on both sides, but not everybody. There are Ukrainian and Russian soldiers out in the field who are willing to fight for their country, fight hard, even if it means death. So obviously, a country's leader has a lot to do with this. Okay, so let's look at Zelensky first. Now, I'll admit, I didn't like Zelensky at the start of the war. I couldn't figure out why he wanted to join NATO or the European Union so bad. I'm thinking, what does he think he's going to get out of this? As for the United States, it depends on who's president, what you get. Biden might be shouting, go Ukraine, but the next president might see things the total opposite. Same thing for the UK. They just gave Boris Johnson the axe in the middle of the war. Okay? So, and NATO has its own share of problems too. Okay, look at all the games Erdogan has to play to get benefits out of being a NATO member. If it wasn't for his scheming, a lot of stuff he's gotten from being in NATO, he wouldn't even gotten it. Okay, so, but anyway, I didn't like Zelensky for several reasons. Okay, this is going to be a long series. But I'm going to share the first thing that changed my mind about Volodymyr Zelensky.
Пішов сніг. Ось така весна. Ну, яка війна, така й весна. Сумора. Але все одно нормально. Всіх переможемо.
I was angry with Zelensky. I was mad because I felt like he was allowing Ukraine to go through pure hell just to become allies with political groups that's just as much as sharks swimming in the shark tank as Russia and China. Okay? But when this clip came out, I was expecting some more foolishness. But Zelensky took a break from his usual BS to give his people a cup of beauty. And I'm a fan of beauty, especially in nature. And it was spring. And I hadn't taken the time to admire the beauty of changes in season in my own life. Okay? And so Zelensky is still not one of my favorite people. But after that video, I began to pay more attention to how he moves. And my thoughts about him have evolved, put it that way. Next up is Putin and Mother Russia. But I think I'm going to stop right here and see if anybody following the war would like to hear some more my memoirs here about it. I'll post part 2 of this series this week. And as always, much love.